I think everyone's going to kind of think like, oh, they're doing paddle reviews. They're Selkirk guys.
Fishy.
They're just going to talk about how they like their Selkirks more.
I have something to tell all of you guys.
Yeah, tell them.
For real, for real, for real, for real, for real.
What's up, pickleball world? It's ya boy, Caden Niemoff, coming at you with another Briones podcast. And today, I'd like to introduce to you guys your very own host of the Briones Pickleball Podcast, Jordan Briones.
Thank you, Caden. Thank you. Good morning. Let's have some energy. Let's rise the energy here.
Yeah, it's like 7:30 in the morning right now, and
At night, actually.
oh yeah, PM.
Yeah. So this is a late podcast, everyone. We have some exciting news. There's a lot of things happening. This is going to be the last podcast of, I'll call it maybe season 1. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. I like that.
So we're entering summer. So here in Arizona, here on the West Coast, the
West Coast, Best Coast.
the desert here in Arizona, it's heating up here.
I would agree. Yeah.
It's heating up. Caden and I are here in the Phoenix area, and
Roasting like chickens.
it gets hot here. I mean, it's starting to climb up in the mid 100s, 103 next week. So,
Wait, what? Really?
yeah. So,
Oh my God.
we have there's a lot of people that kind of leave for the summer and do kind of snowbird here and leave
Yeah.
for the summer. So.
You're some of those people, huh?
Yeah, so this year, as we've mentioned on the podcast here, I'm going to be, or my family and I are going to be going to Colorado Springs, checking that out. And Caden's going to be frying here in Arizona, but you're going to do some traveling yourself.
I'm going to be a part of the family eventually. I actually will make it out to Colorado with you guys.
Yeah.
And actually, hopefully, while I'm out there, we will bring you maybe a, special
Oh,
or a limited edition podcast.
and some maybe limited edition content.
Ooh.
Contento.
Ooh.
I don't even know.
That's not a word.
That's
but,
not. Sounds
but,
Spanish, though.
It sounded cool. It sounded fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you had like at the end, like anything
Yeah.
sounds fancy, like Oreo.
Okay. All right.
different, right? But yeah, I'll make it out there. Gonna be traveling a lot for the pickleball tour, playing a lot of APPs, playing a lot of PPAs.
All right.
And hopefully teaching a lot of clinics too, or
Yes.
lessons in general. So
Yeah. So follow us, on Instagram and also YouTube, Facebook. Caden, what's your Instagram handle?
my Instagram handle is my name, Caden Niemoff, and then PB at the end for
Okay.
peanut butter.
All right, for peanut butter. Follow us. So again, we're sad to say, end of season 1 podcast. I just want to inform everyone here that we are going to still come out with a podcast every week, believe it or not.
Who are you getting to replace me?
No replacements, but we have some guest speakers. We have some guests on. We have a brain neuroscientist coming on. We have.
Man, I'm a brain neuroscientist. I'm Chinese, man. I'm smart.
Yep. And then we have. We have a lot. I'm interviewing a lot of people in the pickleball space. So stay tuned. This summer, you're gonna see some different podcast guests until we start season 2. Probably back up in August. So stay tuned to the Briones Pickleball Podcast, and follow us.
You know what they say?
Follow us.
They always say you never know what you have until it's gone. So for all of those of you who roast me in the comment section, I see your comments about my hair and about my hat and about the way I speak,
Your face.
my face, everything. I see it. But you know what? When I'm gone, you guys are gonna miss me.
So
Probably not.
type in the comments below if you're gonna miss Caden here as the guest. But anyways, we'll be back in August. This is the last podcast, end of season 1. Keep following us on the channel. We're gonna come out with more podcasts.
Yeah.
We have a lot to get to today. Today is also a Q&A.
Yeah.
We are answering lots of pickleball questions. All of you out there have you've actually submitted your questions to our Google form. So, and the Google form is still down in the description. So check that out. If you have any questions, we're going to try to answer as much as we can. This whole show is going to be dedicated to answering your questions. So I think it's going to be really cool. Yeah, we're super excited to do that.
Yeah, we're also trying to figure out a way to do a live Q&A one day. Still trying to figure out how we're going to do it and how it's going to look and everything like that. But I think personally that would be so much fun. And hopefully you guys would enjoy that too. So.
Yeah, so we're going to figure out the logistics there. Housekeeping stuff. Right before we get into the Q&A, I do have some announcements. Number one is that my 2-day intensives, I'm still booking them throughout the rest of the year. If you would like to train on court with me for a full 2 days, a small ratio, me as the coach, 1 to 4, same players, your skill level, and break down every part of your game. Go to brionespickleball.com for that.
1 to 4 ratio, huh?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it is, man. It's a good time. And also, here, you know what? I might just throw up let's see what I could find here.
Oh.
I might have a little pic from the last intensive here.
Intensive day photo shoot.
It should be here somewhere.
Ooh.
Let's, we got, we have any,
Oh,
okay.
squad. Hey, wait a second.
We got
little thief. This guy's stealing my pickleball
we got
students.
little Luke around there. No, he's a
The guys are all the way on the left.
Yeah, so he hopped in last minute here, but we had a couple really cool guys from SoCal and one from Philadelphia. So yeah, they're coming.
Cool.
They're coming from all over. But shout out to that last group there.
Can I guess something really quickly?
Yeah, sure, man. Sure.
Luke had to have asked you to try your paddle.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, of course he did. Yeah.
So, I got the new Selkirk 006 project. So, everyone's trying to get their hands on those,
every single paddle that I've ever used from Selkirk, he is switched to.
Yeah. He's a paddle switcher.
Yep.
I got it.
Yep.
Anyways, man. 2-day intensives. I'd love to have you, see you, coach you, and follow and help you on your journey. Along with that, we have Caden throughout the summer is going to be teaching all over camps, clinics. If you want him to come to your area, fill out. There's a part in the description below where you can fill out a form to request him to come. He's available, folks. He's going to be traveling, playing pro tournaments, and also he's going to be teaching everywhere. So fill it out. If you have a group or a club or some sort of group of friends that want pro level instruction, one of the best instructors in the game, definitely do that. Okay.
It would be fun, and we would have a lot of fun. We'd learn a lot of good stuff. So.
Yeah, and not to scare anyone, but we actually have a special service announcement. I don't know if it's a service announcement.
Oh.
But it is Memorial Day on this podcast. Shout out to all the vets. Shout out to the veterans, all the people who have sacrificed their time and also a lot of them their lives.
Yeah.
For our freedom here in this country. So I just want to shout out to all the people that have served in the military. And also on that, we have a special announcement. Paddle reviews. If you did not see it today, we dropped our very first paddle review. So yes, we are an instructional YouTube channel, but we are getting in the paddle review game.
Yeah. You guys are going to be surprised too, because I think everyone's going to kind of think like, oh, they're doing paddle reviews. They're Selkirk guys.
Fishy.
They're just going to talk about how they like their Selkirks more.
I have something to tell all of you guys.
Yeah,
there.
tell them.
We're actually going to be reviewing a lot of non-Selkirk paddles.
It's true. Bingo.
So, and just to preface this for everyone out there, shout out to Chris Olson in the Pickleball Studio. I just want to shout him out. He's a good friend of mine. he does great reviews. Go check out his YouTube channel. If I'm sure you've probably heard of it, if you're a paddle geek.
Or just a pickleball geek.
Yeah, but we are going to be doing and constructing our own paddle reviews on this YouTube Briones Pickleball channel. Selkirk paddles, of course, but also a lot of non-Selkirk paddles. So if anything, we're going to be the most unbiased, when it comes to non-Selkirk paddles. We're going to just tell you what we honestly think, what is great about it, what is not great about it. And I'm excited. I'm excited to test what's out there. And as this technology develops, I'm kind of happy we're getting out of that delamination and all the gates. I'm sure there's more to come, but
definitely.
As this technology is changing, we are going to recommend certain paddles to you. And, if you want to purchase them, you can do that on our affiliate links. That really helps us out. But on the paddle thing, so watch out for those reviews. We're super excited to bring them to you. We got some really big ones coming out. And from a different lens. So Caden and I obviously are full-time coaches.
Yeah.
So from a lens of coaching, we kind of know what maybe beginners and intermediates and more advanced kind of like
exactly
what I would hand somebody, and also from a high level standpoint. So, we both play very, very high level. So we know, like, if you're also a high level player or aspiring to be a high level player, this is maybe the paddle for you. This may not be the paddle for you, things like that.
Let's put it this way, folks. People are going to I will say my biggest pet peeve in pickleball is when pickleball retailers or ambassadors of this brand will sell people paddles and will talk so great about them just to sell you on it, when in reality, it's probably not the right paddle for you. They're just trying to make their buck. All right.
Could be true.
Realistically and honestly, we are going to be doing paddle reviews to help you guys out, pick paddles that you guys feel would help you guys.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be about Selkirk. It's going to be about what this paddle does well, what this paddle doesn't do well, what kind of player would want to use this paddle, where you might want to add your lead tape. I mean, it's going to be about you guys.
It's going to be in depth, and we're going to be evolving it as it goes. So make sure you leave comments, follow us on that paddle journey. And that being said, we actually have a special discount code for a 10% off discount code at pickleballcabana.com. Go check that out. It's a local retailer we've partnered with. So, they've told us, all our pickleball friends, there's Briones 10 is the coupon code you can use. So go ahead and check out pickleballcabana.com, and then they have a whole bunch of paddles there. And that's actually, we're going to be offering you to purchase paddles if you would like them, watching our reviews.
Nice.
And then, so that's that for that. I know this is a long long housekeeping segment here, but we have a few to get to. Just because this is the last podcast in a while, we're going to get to the Q&A. Again, everyone who's watching, we're going to answer a bunch of questions. Just a few more things here. Sponsors, speaking of paddles, Selkirk, we really appreciate you out there. We are Selkirk sponsored players, and we do love the company. They are an American company. That's one of the reasons why I really like them. And also, for their main lines, they do have lifetime warranty on their paddles. So there's not many companies that have that as well. So
it's pretty damn good.
And family owned as well. So shout out to Rob and Mike Barnes there at Selkirk. And then let's see here. We got a couple more things here. Pickleball Kingdom is a place, really great indoor place right down the street from me. That's where I've been conducting my 2-day intensive. So they are franchising. So if you yourself or somebody that would like to get in or invest in the pickleball world, has some extra money laying around, or knows some other investors, go ahead and check out the link below. click on that link, and then you can get connected with the owners over there, because they're going to be franchising all over
Arizona or all over the world?
all over the nation. They
Wow.
just landed 5 locations in Texas. Those are the first
Wow. 5 in Texas?
5 in Texas in different cities. So, and they're going to be expanding other places.
They don't even have 5 in Arizona yet.
I know.
That's wild.
So, lastly, we are going to talk. Why don't you tell us about the Caden, what is it called here? The finals on June 6th.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
So tomorrow, Tuesday,
Yeah.
the 30th of May, I will be playing in the, not the finals, but to go to the finals, we're actually playing the Tempe Tornadoes, who are the 1 seed, we're the 4 seed.
And this is the Arizona Pickleball League for those of you who maybe have not listened. But here in Arizona, the Orchard family,
Jigsaw Health.
They have created a pro
league.
here in Arizona. So
Yeah.
Caden's playing in it.
Yep.
And
We play tomorrow, and then the final is June 6th. If you guys are interested in either buying tickets because you're here in Arizona, I would suggest doing that now because those will sell like hotcakes. Or if you guys are not in Arizona, you can watch it live on the Pickleball channel on YouTube. So
Nice.
if
that.
you guys can't be there in person to cheer me on, I would absolutely love it if you guys could cheer me on in the live chat on YouTube.
There you go. Thank you, everybody, for listening to that long intro there. We're asking a lot of questions. Go check out the timestamps below if you want to get to a particular question. I'll try to break them up. But here we go. Q&A is starting in 3, 2, 1. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Okay, so these are from our listeners and watchers on the channel. So again, if you want to ask a question, go ahead and send them in. There's a link in the description where you can. Here we go. To start off, question number 1. Thank you, everyone, for sending this in. I'm starting it right here. Quotation. Actually, just started recently watching your podcast. I am 19 years old. I am trying to get to the pro level within the next year and a half. I drill 4 to 5 times a week and play games as well. I struggle to find someone around my age, like 20 or so, to play with consistently. And I know you need that person to play a lot to get that chemistry down. What is y'all's advice for me? Now, the fact that he said y'all's, I'm wondering if he's in that Texas area or
Tennessee.
or some, I don't know, something. Maybe I don't know, where else would they say that?
I mean, the South.
The South. Okay.
Anywhere in the South.
So for this viewer, what would you go? You shoot, Caden.
Yeah. It's funny that this question's being asked because you know what? I probably would ask this question if I were in the same boat 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
still
man.
living in the Bay Area. So
Yeah. So Caden has done it. He's on the pro tour here, APP and PPA. So Caden, what would you say to your 19-year-old self, I guess,
I would say personally, it doesn't have to be someone who's necessarily your age that you have to grow with. But that being said, especially at 19 years old, it would be very beneficial for you to actually go play on the APP Next Gen Tour.
Great.
Only because
Great.
if you have the aspirations of becoming a pro and meeting kids your age who all love pickleball as much as you do,
Yep.
that is the perfect scene for someone to kind of get their name in the door, meet players that are your age and maybe, not quite your skill level or above your skill level or exactly your skill level, but you meet so many pickleball players that are your age, and it's honestly very refreshing.
It's really good.
And I got lucky because even though I started pickleball back in 2017, I would go play nationals every year.
Yeah.
And so even though I wasn't, a top dog or even anyone that was that good, I would just go play in the juniors division, and I got to meet so many kids who are my age who are also good pickleball players. And so
That's really good.
the APP Next Gen Tour would be it sounds like it would be perfect for you because you just want the exposure. You want to meet new people.
Yeah.
I mean, and I say this all the time, but I've met some of my closest friends from playing on the pickleball tour,
Yeah.
you know, and just playing pickleball in general. So, get out there, try it, see how it is. You know, if you go out there and you say, okay, everyone there is weird and, you know, I don't like it. Hey, you found out. But, you know, that the next gen tour is great because it's all about focusing on the future of pickleball and the development of your game and stuff like that. And, yeah, totally would recommend that.
Really good stuff, Caden. I didn't even think about that. That's why we have Caden on the show here. No, really good. Ken, is it Herman?
Ken Herman. Yep.
Shout out to Ken Herman. He's doing a lot for the juniors, doing a lot for the young generation. And it's called the Next Gen
Tour.
Next
Yeah.
Gen Tour. So
I think they have a tournament in Kansas City. They have a tournament in Texas. So I mean, if you're near there, come out, man, and of course introduce yourself if you see me. So, I mean, I don't know if I'll be there, but
yeah.
Okay. If you see me, let me. Yeah.
So there you go. That's what we suggest, man. Or if you are.
Did he leave a name?
A lady. No, you know what? Sorry guys and gals. I'm gonna have to adjust the form to leave I don't have a place to put the name. So.
Or even just he or her.
Yeah. But I think so. Anyways, whoever you are, that's our advice. Great one, Caden. We're gonna hop right into question number 2, and here it is. We got from listener. What are your thoughts on the differences and utility of a regular backhand roll versus wrist flick roll speed up? And also, how do you approach speeding up on the backhand side compared to the forehand side? Aggressiveness, targets, and techniques. Great question.
That is a great question.
Great question. To preface this, regular backhand roll, backhand wrist flick roll. I am not 100% sure what he's referring to, but my assumption would be backhand roll is more of a smooth, elongated,
maybe like a fourth shot type roll
stroke, and then a backhand wrist flick roll would be maybe just using a lot more wrist.
Yeah,
and
more of a flick,
attacking below the net. I think you do that actually kind of often, Caden.
I do. I use that shot a lot actually.
So his question is, or her question is, what are the thoughts of the differences in utility of both? What do you think, Caden?
Well, I think personally, both are necessary. So what I'm trying to say is that you should never close yourself off to having both of the options, right? So what that means is when you are practicing, whether it's the roll or the flick, you should be able to use both comfortably. And if you aren't comfortable with using one, then hey, don't worry about it. But if you are capable of using both, then I would say use both, because the roll, by what the message kind of sounds like, the roll you can use for your fourth shot, right? If you don't hit a great fourth shot and they start to come in and now they're up at the kitchen line, you can use the flick as more of a speed up. So being able to be offensive on your backhand is super awesome because, most people only expect speed ups on forehands. Yeah. So personally, one thing that I take pride in with my game is that I can speed up both forehand and backhand. And that option gives me a lot of opportunity.
Yeah.
So if you are capable of using both the roll and the flick, I would say go for it. The only problem with the flick is it's very hard on your wrist. So
yeah. So differences in utility. So differences, just really quick for me. Backhand roll, yeah, kind of like a fourth shot. Your opponents are coming in. Yep. And you have more time to have a more elongated stroke.
Correct. It'll probably be a smoother swing.
Yeah, the backhand wrist flick, it's kind of maybe from a little bit lower to kind of catch your opponent off guard right in front of you. So maybe I see that more being used when your opponent is right up at the non-volley zone.
Yep.
So the utility would be, you're going to use a backhand roll more for like a fourth. Yep. And then up at the line for the wrist flick. But that's something in my game I haven't really the wrist flick I don't use much. So for the wrist flick roll, by the way, it's definitely more out of the air.
For sure. Yeah,
Like
you
you're
got to
not,
take it in the air.
yeah, a wrist
something I
flick
should have mentioned,
roll. Actually for both, but a wrist flick roll is going to definitely be really tough off the bounce. So second part B of this, and also how do you approach speeding up on the backhand side compared to the forehand? So I'll take this, Caden, and maybe you can chime in, but the forehand is what I teach players first.
Yeah.
When we talk about attacking.
Yeah.
The reason for that is you definitely want a weapon on your forehand side.
Yep.
No matter what. Now, we don't need to neglect our backhand. That's not what I'm saying. But we definitely need to start, I think. It's just easier to start on your forehand side to learn how to drop your paddle head, to learn the mechanics of attacking. But I usually start there. Now, how do I approach speeding up to the backhand? I'm working with a lot of clients and students now, attacking from the backhand side. And from my experience, and also you can tell me, Kaden, but it's just much harder because how your wrist is and how you're holding it to attack from the backhand. I'm utilizing a lot of two-handed shots now when I'm teaching the backhand. Now, it's definitely possible to speed up with the one hand, but as you're seeing the game develop and things like that, there's a lot of pros nowadays that are attacking off the bounce with two hands. It makes it easier to have that offhand on it.
It's true.
Any just real quick thoughts about forehand versus backhand attacks, Caden?
Always love the idea of having both. Like Jordan said, I will always teach a forehand first over a backhand just because the forehand will be a little bit easier to pick up. Something about just, our backhand going across our body. Our body always likes to mess that up. So going forehand is always easier, but having the option of attacking both on your forehand and backhand are super nice. And like Jordan said, on the Pro Tour, you are seeing people attacking from all different types of heights of ball, forehand, backhand, it doesn't matter. So, I would say personally, when I taught, I told people, hey, you don't need to have every shot in the book. You don't need to have it. You can get away with having 5 or 6 or 7 really good shots and doing well off of that. But now there's so much offense in pickleball that that's almost not the case. So, one thing I tell people all the time is, hey, even as a pro, we're still learning about this game. So, when people give you advice or anything like that,
take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, exactly.
Take it with a grain of salt, unless you're talking to someone who is really experiences, and I really believe that, and also has been around a good amount of time. I mean, we hear bad advice all the time. Yeah. The game is changing, and one of the things that I think both of us have adapted to is that change, and it's going to keep changing.
Oh, for sure.
What I could say though is fundamentals of the game are always going to be there. Yeah. But the little nuances which go a long way is changing. Kind of like with the NBA finals coming up, it's really interesting. There's some there's a lot of fun stuff going on right now in the NBA. Even if you don't watch basketball, one of the things that I could say is the fundamentals of basketball are still going to always be the same, but as Steph Curry and people came in, shooting more threes.
Game changes.
Changes, but free throws, defense, right?
Yep.
The fundamentals of the game. So don't neglect dinking, resetting, drops. Don't neglect that stuff, but we definitely have to start adding tools.
I compare it to baseball, honestly. Baseball, you used to be able to be really good at stealing, really good at hitting singles, really good at hitting doubles. Really good at, specific things. Yeah. In baseball, if you don't have the tools to hit for contact, power, steal, get on base, have a good eye, I mean, you're not making it in the league. You know what I mean? So same thing is going for pickleball. You have to be a good dinker. You have to be a good volleyer. You have to have good overheads. Yep. You have to have good resets, good drops, good drives, good serves, returns. I mean, this game is getting harder.
That's it. And that's why we're here. So check it out. Check
Yeah.
out our YouTube channel and watch those videos. We're going to continue for years to come. We're going to continue to bring you the best content that we can. Let's hop into the next question here. Would you ever open up a time to challenge local listeners, random Joes that dream of hanging with the big boys? I got this question on YouTube.
Oh, really?
So basically they're asking us, you know what? I think it'd be, and okay, for those listeners out there, we have some plans, okay? We have some plans in the future. We're not going to give anything away.
Can't tell you.
But I think it would be cool to have some challengers play us, Caden, and maybe document it, maybe a little YouTube live,
Yeah.
things like that. See how many points they can get, those kinds
We
of
could
things.
do like a little beat the pro session. Maybe,
Yeah.
get some opportunities to win some points,
Yeah.
win some giveaways. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Oh, that's okay. So comment below if you would like to see kind of content like that. Comment below. See if would you watch that content? Would you find it interesting?
Or would you show up?
Yeah, there you go. We would love to do. We have a lot of ideas, so we have some
You know, a lot of crazy ideas.
fun content coming up this summer
Ooh,
of 2023.
that's
So,
next year. I'm just kidding.
You almost got me. Okay, here we go. Next question here. Do you have any more tips? Do you have any tips for shorter players? This is really interesting, and I had to think about this a little bit. I'm still gonna think. I'm actually gonna shove this question. I'm actually gonna probably volley dink this question to you.
Should I take that personally?
Oh no, I'm just.
Oh, okay.
I just need yes. Anyways, Caden, no, seriously, I've gotten this question before. So anything that comes to mind. So shorter players, and any tips?
Just to put this out there, I'm 5'9", everybody, so I'm not that short, and Jordan's literally like 5'9" and a quarter, so, likes to make short people jokes towards me. But anyways, my shorter players, my short kings and queens.
There you go.
Here's what I would say to you guys. Believe it or not, our ready position is usually kind of anywhere from our belly button to our chest.
Yeah.
So for you guys, if I'm going to be honest, I actually would love it if you guys kind of had your paddle more at your chest, because every single ball for you guys would be almost kind of like a put away. Now that also means if you don't have the longest reach, you're going to be playing a lot more off the bounce, but that doesn't mean you guys can't also still use your reach to your advantage. So luckily for taller people, one thing I find with taller people is people have length and don't know how to use it. I personally am not that tall, but I will use every inch of my body that I have. So even though maybe you're shorter, figure out how much reach you guys have, because I guarantee you people might not expect you to use your reach because you're shorter. And one thing you'll find is if you guys can use your reach and take a few more balls in the air, you guys will find a lot of offensive balls. And, this is going to sound kind of messed up, but because you guys are lower to the net, you guys are actually going to have a lot of easier balls in here. And I actually kind of flame Hayden Patriquin for this a lot, because he's not that tall. He's 5'5", 5'6", but
Is he that short?
he's not
No,
tall.
he's like 5'7".
No, he's short, bro. He's 5'6".
No way.
I swear.
Okay.
But I tell him all the time, I'm like, dude, how does it feel to just have a put away on every single shot? Because every speed up for him is literally just right here for him. It's literally a put away. So, you guys just have to kind of sit with your hands high and ready, but like everything here, you guys should be able to kind of hit down on.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a huge advantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I totally agree with the chest ready position. Me and Caden go back and forth, but
We do.
But so there is some variance there. To clear that up, there's definitely balls you're going to get chest high. There may be some balls you get a little bit lower. So you may have to adjust your ready position. But what I would say, Caden, is that being short has some advantages.
That's true.
So just to start off, everyone, You know how many tall people I coach that have trouble getting low.
For sure.
Okay. So number one, I would say, honestly, I would say one of the only, if there is the only, disadvantages to being short is players lobbing over you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's I can't think of many good ones or other ones, but so being short, you can get low.
True.
In transition, I'm up at the net. Like Caden said, I mean, we're not super tall, around 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah.
And we're low to the ground. And what I would recommend if you're short or you're asking if you have tips, work on your footwork.
Yeah.
Work on your footwork. You can have, if you're short, you can have fast, quick feet. Like Caden said, lean in, use your reach when necessary, and learn a game. And if you're short, I would learn how to really learn on hitting offensive dinks and craftiness.
Yeah.
Around the net. Like,
well, I mean, you look at Elise Jones. She's not tall.
That is,
but like,
that's a really good example.
Think about it this way. She digs so much out because she's already lower, right?
Yep.
And I'm going to be honest. This sport is a low to high sport.
Yep.
This sport was made to be a low to high sport, which means most of the time, the players who win are the best ones who can hit low to high the most consistently.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, this game has picked up and gotten faster, and now there's a lot of straight on and a lot of downward. But the people who are really good at getting low for their dinks, getting low for their drops, getting low for their resets. God, those people, honestly, sometimes those are the hardest people to play. Yeah. Because you can hit down on as many balls as you want, and all they do is just dig it out.
Yep. There you go. So there's definitely some advantages there. Use your height to your advantage. If you're tall, okay, so let's flip the question. If you're tall, all the tall people that I coach, like I see them not using their reach.
Yeah.
So learn how to get in a wider stance. Learn how to also move your feet.
Yep.
And learn how to lean in so you can poke, you can flick.
And get low with your knees, not your back.
There you go.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Great question.
That was a great question. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
That one almost like stumped me a little bit.
Well, as we, we're doing this live, okay? We are deconstructing.
Like
these
I had to
questions.
put myself in a 5'3" body real quick and be like, okay, what would I do?
There you go. Let's get to the next question here. How do you manage illegal serves in rec play? Do you say anything or ignore it? It's, of course, really tough to spot sometimes, and you don't want to show people up. I once mentioned to someone their serve looked illegal. I mentioned it out of the earshot of the other players, and then minutes later, this person shouted out to everyone so they can all hear it that my serve must be illegal. It was clearly sour grapes for highlighting their illegal serve. Okay. All right. I'm going to actually do a wall drill and volley this question back to myself.
Wow.
Yes. And then just really quickly, everybody, I'm going to assist this question back to me because I have some thoughts on this.
I also have some thoughts, so make this quick.
Okay, I'll make it quick. All right. So I'm going to be brutally honest with everyone here.
Yeah, so am I.
Number one.
I'm probably going to say amen to this because this
number one.
Yeah.
And number 2 and 3. This is rec play, people. This is rec play.
Amen.
Now, unless they are literally serving tennis serve style and over their head, maybe I'd mention a little something, and maybe it's their first day out on the job there. But here's the thing. You just now, if you sent this question in, we really appreciate you. Okay, this is tough coach love here. Okay, if I was coaching you, this is what I would say. If it's illegal, it may be illegal to the point where it may not make that much of a difference. And if it makes that much of a difference, your returns are going to get better.
Yeah.
So just for me, it's rec play. Who cares? Like I said, if it's blatantly obvious, I might say something. But if it's even close, don't let it get to your head. Play your game and use it as something to improve your
returns.
Your returns.
Because returns are awesome.
Yeah. And then lastly, that's so funny. The retaliation happened. So again, if you sent this question in, we get it. And you know what? There's a lot of players. And here's what I would say too, just not as a counter argument, but something that I know has happened over time and again. That is like players who think other players' serves are illegal. 99% of the time, they are legal.
Yeah.
99. Okay. Yeah. So, and that 1%. Okay. You know, just that's my, okay. So let's not spend a lot of time. Any thoughts, or is that anything to add? Just anything to add quickly, Kane. We got a lot of questions here.
Well, personally, I have a lot of students that I teach my serve to. Not my serve, but a good serve to.
Yeah.
And I think it's really funny when they come back to me and say, "Oh my God, this person like kept bugging me about my serve because they feel it's illegal." And I go, "Damn, you must have been serving really well that day because, one, I'm not going to teach you an illegal serve, and two, like, people just get upset when they start missing your returns. And if they do it over and over again, of course they're going to look at you and be like, your paddle is, your shorts, man, your serve. And people, dude, pickleball players have so many excuses.
Yeah.
So many excuses.
So, So anyways.
And so all I'm saying is, who cares? Okay? If you guys find that someone's serve is illegal, especially in rec play, the only thing that matters in rec play is you. Okay? So anything that someone else does that bothers you, it don't matter. It doesn't matter. Focus on you and what you're trying to accomplish.
Amen, brother.
All right.
And if it's a tournament, hey, master ref, that's a different story.
Yep.
So
there you go.
And then he'll probably still say it's illegal. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
All right. So we are going to jump into the next one. So let's try to keep it concise. I mean, I don't know how many questions we're gonna get to.
Yeah.
But here we go. With what seems like an increase in use of the third shot drive at the pro level, why isn't a fourth shot block used more frequently by the pros in response?
Block as in like drop into the kitchen?
Hold on, man.
Oh, sorry.
Dude, hold on. I'm talking about a block that absorbs the full punch of the drive and drops it short in the non-volley zone. Okay, let me finish the question, bro.
I thought the question was over.
Seems like the driving team would either, A, be unable to get it, or B, if they did, they would be able to do very little, and hit up on it. Brian from Temecula. Brian, shout out to Brian.
Brian, thank you for leaving your name.
Yeah. Brian from Temecula. Shout out to the Temecula pickleball players out there.
Where is that?
It's SoCal area.
Oh, is it really?
I think. Yep.
Oh.
Anyways, okay. So now,
Brian,
I get asked this. I don't get asked this a lot, but I have students and players that tell me this a lot, or talk through this. Number one is at the pro level.
We're getting it.
Everyone's fast.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I would say. Number two, it's actually a riskier shot to do that because you're taking a topspin ball that's maybe coming between 30 and 50 miles an hour and trying to drop it on a dime in the non-volley zone. So,
got to be pretty perfect to do it.
Yeah. So the high percentage shot is to counter back or a low block, but not a drop, just a low block. Anyways, at the pro level, that is why, everyone. And now at amateur levels, so here's the thing about this question, Caden. I do get a lot of questions on players that are hitting their third shot drop or drive, and then players are just dropping it right in front of them, and they can't get it.
Yeah,
so
right.
What would you say to that player, though? Because that gets frustrating. So let me ask
sure.
you. I have some answers, but for someone who is constantly getting dropped, what are some options?
Well, personally, I mean, if you guys find that you're constantly, or there's something that you're doing that constantly loses you a point, you have to make adjustments.
Oh, I like it.
Right? Which means if you are hitting a drop and maybe it's a little bit high and you feel like, oh, well, they can't hurt me on that, and all they're doing is dropping it in the kitchen, and you don't have the mobility to get there, then we have to start mixing things up.
Maybe
Whether
hit
that
some
means we
drives
hit some drives
or some lobs.
or some lobs. Now, personally, I wouldn't ever really recommend, and I would never teach someone to third shot lob.
Ever?
Unless, I mean, you would have to be a higher level student.
That's what I'm talking about.
But
Yeah.
I feel like most people throw up a lob defensively, and defensively means bailing out of the point, which means you are now just going to put yourself in a defensive position to play defensive pickleball. That's not going to win you points, all right? It may win you a point here and there, but it's not going to win you consistently, all right? But like I said, if something isn't working, don't keep going with it, right? You guys know the line. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it's broke, fix it. So mix it up with drops, mix it up with drives, mix up your locations.
Yep.
Mix up maybe with a lob every now and then.
Yep.
Try something new that maybe your opponents aren't expecting.
Try something new. And just as a little tip here, when I see this at more amateur levels, I see someone hitting a high drop or a drive. Obviously, we have to improve our drops and drive. But usually a player that does that is better on one side.
Yeah.
Like it's their forehand or their backhand. They just like to
Tap.
go to the other side. Test it out. But the drive and the third shot lob are definitely some options, along with obviously improving your drops.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's hop right into the next one. What is needed, and let's keep this one pretty concise.
Okay.
Caden, what is needed to advance from 4.5 to 5.0? Now, I know this is a loaded question, but I'm going to give you 3 things here. Now, there's a long list. I just had a 4.5 intensive, and I'll tell you what we worked on.
Cool. That sounds awesome.
Number 1 is attacking and hands.
Yep. I was going to say hand speed.
For 4 or 5 level, they have fundamentals, good consistency, hand speed, and just attacking. Okay, off the bounce attacking is one of the big ones.
Yep.
Defense, number 2.
I was going to say transition. Yep.
Digging and transition, not just resets and transition, but really elite defense, developing maybe two-handed resets, digs, things like that. And then number 3, I would say, because there's a bunch, but just like higher level point construction. Just learning how to develop the point and being more strategic on
pickleball IQ,
on speed ups, being more strategic on when to roll versus when to slice, when to step back a little bit off the line, when to hold your line, those kinds of things. So really short. You want to add maybe 2 more?
I was going to say returns.
Okay.
I was going to say returns, hand speed, and transition.
Okay.
So I actually like that you added pickleball IQ and point construction and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Obviously technique, huge. And one of the reasons why I was able to progress quickly was because I didn't have to learn anything that was already bad. I just got to learn from scratch coming from baseball. But
yeah.
Transition, super important. Hand speed, super important. And the reason why I say returns is because, a good return, takes away an easy third or an easy drive, which means less points.
Yep, I'm actually working on something. It's in the works on returns. No one heard that. Okay, here we go. Next one. We enjoy the breakdown of your professional points.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. But the vast majority of players can't really relate to that.
Oh.
We think it would be interesting if you had people send short videos of them playing at the beginner and intermediate level and broke those down. It might be more practical for the majority of players out there, especially the ones watching your videos. You can call it personal video breakdown. Thank you for all the suggestions. And you know what? I agree.
No, I love that.
But number 1, what I don't agree with here, and I'm gonna break this down for you. Vast majority of players can't relate to that. partly true, partly not true. What they can't relate or do is some of the athleticism, obviously, the skill. But all the things we're breaking down in that point, when you go watch our breakdowns here, we have several breakdowns on our channel. We're talking about positioning. We're talking about footwork. We're talking about technique. These are all things that you all should be watching for when you're watching those videos.
It's true.
So that you can learn. Fundamentally, those things are really important. Now,
Right.
we will, you know what? Thank you for reminding me. We're gonna start breaking down some amateur points.
Yeah, we should. I think it'd be fun.
We need to figure out a system, Caden. Comment below right now. If you're listening, comment below right now if you'd like to see that. We're going to figure that out. And then, yeah. Okay.
I think, like you said, we're doing what's right and wrong. So it's not so much, we're not teaching you what pros do. We're teaching you what we all should do. So that's all I have to say about that. But I would actually love to break down some amateur points. That'd be fun.
Nancy, 2.5 from Montana.
Oh, where in Montana did she say?
Oh, no, I'm just talking about breakdown, like random breakdowns. Or Harold from
Nebraska.
3.5 match, gold medal match. We'd love to break your guys.
We really would.
Down. Okay, here we go. Next question. What's a solid off-court training regimen? What does a solid off-court training regimen look like for footwork, stamina, and strength? Now, Caden, I want you to, you're playing at a pro level.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people aren't. Just to kind of change the question, what would you recommend for like your kind of clients from 3-0 to 4-5 that may be young but also maybe older? What kind of things would you recommend?
That requires a court or doesn't require a court?
No,
was what it's off court. Yeah, off court. Okay.
Footwork, stamina, strength.
Yeah. So personally, I actually practice my footwork a lot in my house.
Do you?
Yeah.
Like
Just like while I'm cooking, while I'm watching,
steps?
Shuffles, all of it. Step back, step forward, all of that stuff. Like
You heard that here, folks.
I use a lot of mirroring with my footwork. And one of the main reasons why I was able to pick up my footwork so easily was just because like I practice it at home. You don't need a pickleball court to work on your footwork. On top of that, pickleball uses a lot of core strength, abdominal strength. So personally, after eating dinner or something like that, after I digest, I will watch a TV show and sit on my couch and do crunches. I'll get on the ground.
I thought you were going to say planks.
Oh, you could do that too.
Good too.
I could, you can do planks, you can do crunches, you can do sit-ups, you can do wall sits, little things like that. They don't go unnoticed because, even though you're, relaxing and watching TV, you are also getting a little bit of a workout in for pickleball, which is why I personally will always make time for it.
Okay. I like that. Couple of things here. Footwork. Yeah, I would recommend. We have some footwork videos, super important, especially in your net beginner, intermediate level. You can do that anywhere. Stamina, several things. I don't know how, long runs and long things. I would just recommend more hit workout, short stuff.
Yeah.
But just one thing personally, okay, on a personal level, I got into jump roping like
true.
What's it called? Not what's it called, but maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and I'm starting to get back into it. But for timing, footwork, and also stamina, it's really, really good.
It is really good. Actually, that's something I do when I go and work out.
There you go. And for strength, get with a PT, get with a personal trainer, and learn some things that you can do at home or at the gym. But like Caden said, core and legs and back. You're gonna be, using those quads, using those hamstrings. You're gonna be, there's gonna be some pressure on your lower back. So anything we can do to improve the strength there.
All I can say is if you guys have the ability to buy some 5-pound dumbbells. They're great because they're not too heavy, but they're not too light.
They're really heavy for Caden, by the way.
They are really heavy for me. That's why.
You mean 0.5 for you?
I use 0.2s. Yeah.
Okay.
But They're really great because you can lift them here and get shoulder. You can lift them here and get chest. All right. You can just swing it here, and guess what? That's hand speed. All right. You can squat with them. You can do whatever you want with them, but you're not actually straining yourself and hurting yourself. But the low weight and maybe a lot of reps, really good for you.
All right. Here's a good one here.
Okay.
It seems like every sponsored player feels that their sponsor's paddle is the best. This, of course, is too hard to believe. So what are we to believe? Jordan, with all the new pickleball paddles that are on the market, how do you know which is the best for you? Surface, area, width, thick or thin, grip, weight, length. I have an answer. We're going to be doing some honest paddle reviews coming up. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah. No, it's going to be a lot of fun.
But in the meantime, on a serious note, and that was a serious note, by the way, we're going to be doing a lot of paddle reviews, seriously. So stay tuned and watch out for those. We're going to give our honest feedback on a lot of different brands. And along with that, everyone's preference is going to be different.
For sure.
Okay, so let's just keep it really simple here, Caden. Dude, I like the reset ability of paddles. I like softer paddles. I like paddles that have more feel and control. You're a player, Caden, where you tend to go more towards the power.
Correct.
And because you just want that for your game. For my game, I want power as well, but I like having more defensive abilities, and I don't know. It's just preference. Okay. At the end of the day, go out there and try paddles. You're right. If you think we're biased about Selkirk paddles, that's fine, but we're going to be, which I think there's a lot of great Selkirk paddles out there. But
we're going to be as honest as,
along with that, we are going to be reviewing some other brands. So stay tuned for that. Try a whole bunch. Don't listen to, everybody, you know,
right.
Just because there's a big name on the paddle doesn't mean that it's the best paddle, but
it's true.
But there are some big name paddles that are really good.
Yeah.
And we have some exciting reviews coming for you. But that's what I would say. Think about your game, and if you're more of a so here's how I classify it. This is a very simple way, Caden. But if you're like more touch, like crafty, you like to reset, you like to slow the game down, those kinds of things, I would suggest maybe a thicker one. And if your game is like all power or more so power and spin and stuff, maybe a thinner core.
Yeah.
But
and even that's it can go as simple as this too. Maybe you need more power and you need a poppier paddle to help you out with that, or maybe you lack a little bit of control, so you need something with that's thicker and a little bit softer. So there's a lot of things that go into paddles. A lot of things that go into paddles and what you're looking for. So
and Caden and I are going to be doing our best to bring you the accurate, basically feedback of what paddles you should get.
Yep.
So stay tuned. Next question: what Selkirk paddle would be good for intermediate 3-5 or so, with not much power on their own? Oh, like he's saying, I don't have a lot of power. Okay. I'm fairly small, but did have reasonable power in my singles game as a teenager. I feel like I need some power from a paddle, but my coach said the Ben Johns Yola men's version that he played with before going to his newest one isn't right for me because I need more forgiveness and control in a paddle. Great question. Selkirk paddles. We just did a review today on the Halo SLK. Look in the description below if you'd like to purchase it. I personally, and we're going to get to this really quick, but I honestly, right now I use the Halo SLK 16 millimeter max. I think it's a great one for control. If you want a little bit more pop, I suggest a 13 millimeter.
Yeah.
Caden is using the Power Air right now. I wouldn't suggest that for control.
Wouldn't either.
So, but if you want a lot of pop, that's a paddle. But again, so that's Selkirk. There are a lot of paddles out there. But
can you just repeat what the coach said?
yeah, basically the coach said, he said, I feel like I need some power from a paddle, but my coach says my Ben John's Yola that he played with before he's going to his newest one, the new one coming out, I think, isn't right for me because I need more forgiveness and control in a paddle. Honestly, what I would say here is the Ben John's Swift or Hyperion or whatever, that has good forgiveness.
The Ben John's Yola
is a good control
Hyperion
paddle.
is literally one of the softest paddles I've ever used in my life.
Yeah. So if I would say that's, I mean, if you already have that and you are looking for control, and I'm not sure if that's what you're asking, but I mean, at the end of the day, that's a pretty good paddle. So
I'm a little concerned about the coach.
yeah. So
anyways, okay.
Yeah. So that's that. Again, stay tuned for paddle reviews. All right. How do I correct bad habits? I've been playing for 2 years. I've never had any paddle tennis training. I'm at a plateau. I need to correct my bad habits. 2 things here. 1, you can watch things, YouTube channel, maybe Briones Pickleball, things like that. But at the end of the day, the reason why players come to me and train with me for 2 days, the reason why players will come to Caden and want to get training from a pro is because it's hard to see your bad habits.
It's true.
We would be out of jobs, Caden. Here's the truth. We would be out of jobs if people could do it on their own.
Yeah.
And thankfully, people can do it on their own, but not just like as a knock to all of you, but also we love to help players. We love it. So
Yep.
Bad habits are hard to correct if you don't know what they are and you don't know how to fix them. So
Yep.
get a coach.
Well, and also people say, oh, well, I can watch myself. I can record myself and watch myself play. I'm going to be honest with you right now. When you watch yourself play, you don't watch what you're doing. You only watch if you hit a good shot or not. So if you think you can do it yourself, tell me right now that you have watched yourself play and said, oh, okay, I noticed that I used too much wrist in the video. You're not doing it. I promise you. You are only thinking about whether you hit a good shot or not.
Unless you have a good coach. But
yeah.
That's that.
But I'm saying if you do it yourself. Coaching is great because, well, you have a set of eyes that knows what they're talking about that can help you see little things. Like people ask me all the time, how do you see when I change my grip? Well, it's something I see a lot. So it stands out when you do it, right? But you got binoculars over there? That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, what were
I
you
don't
saying?
look as cool. But like you guys can get better by focusing on your technique. And
Yep.
that may mean breaking bad habits and not playing as well. But if you guys do genuinely want to get better, focus on what you're trying to do instead of the results.
All right, man.
Okay.
I like it.
All right.
All
Let's
right.
go.
Let's jump right into the next one. With coaching and clinics costing so much, at what level of play would you consider it worth paying for coaching?
Every single level.
Part B, how do you recommend going about finding a drill partner? Okay, so let's get to the first one.
Yep.
Coaching and clinics can cost a lot.
It's true.
There's a lot of coaching and clinics that I don't recommend out there.
It's true.
But so this is what I would say. If you're really taking pickleball seriously, it's good to get coaching in the beginning.
Yep.
So that you don't develop bad habits.
Yep.
Number 2, if you feel like you've hit a plateau, that's also a good time to get some coaching because, currently right now, just to be transparent with everyone here, I'm getting coaching, not in pickleball, but kind of like some like business advice coaching. I have a mentor.
Yeah.
Right?
Is it me?
Obviously, no. Obviously, as we grow this channel, as we grow the business, I definitely want to do something awesome and help as many people as I can and things like that. So I'm getting coached or mentored by someone who's been there and also has the experience and also has been very successful in that craft. So if like I'm doing that so I can actually excel faster.
Yeah.
Because if I try to do it on my own, I can still do that if I had natural abilities for business and things like that. And maybe I do have some, but for me to take accelerated path, I would like to, that's why I have a coach. So a business coach. So I don't know. That's my quick one. Any like maybe 20 seconds or so. Kidding.
Yeah,
On the board.
I would just agree with you. I think honestly, it never hurts to get coaching early. It never never hurts to get coaching later. If you guys hit the plateau, or even just like a 4-5, trying to get to 5-0, because 4-5 to 5-0.
That's a tough one.
Is not necessarily anything crazy, but it's little things that you have to kind of work on and kind of get through to get over that hump. And then if you think that's hard, imagine thinking 5-0 to pro.
Yeah.
And right now pickleball has this gray area right now where people consider themselves pros when they play 5-0 tournaments. So all I'm saying is there are still humps to get past once you get to a 5-0. All right. Once you're a 5-0, you're not a pro. Once you get to 5-0, you now have to work your way up to a pro. So there's a lot to work on, and there's never a bad time for a coach.
All right. There you go. Lastly, how do you recommend about finding a drill partner? This is the question of the century, maybe.
Yeah.
Comment below. Kaden, I've had this little idea here. If anyone does this, I want royalties. But
Me too.
I get this question asked all the time. I'm really considering. Now, this is not in the top of my priority list, but I'm really considering creating an app for drill partners. Why? Because I get asked all the time.
I don't even know why you would even share that. That's a good idea.
Jordan, I want to take what you have. I'm trying to get better. I just cannot find a drill partner. What would I like? You don't know what I would do with a drill partner. So this is what I would say. That is really tough. You just need to find one person that really just wants to get better. Little tips for this. I have some like tricks. Number one, don't say the word drill.
Yeah.
Seriously, this is a big one. If you say that, it might scare people off because
It's true.
people are like weird about that. So, hey, you want to hit and play just with me and you one-on-one?
You want to play some skinny singles?
Yeah, there you go.
Playing skinny singles
And,
sounds a whole
hey,
lot better than drilling.
Yeah. So,
Say that much.
for those of you who are looking for someone, just, meet people, network, go to open play, find someone that just wants to get better. And that's my recommendation. Okay.
Yep.
I have a next question. I observe that most, if not all pros use the volley serve. Is this because they've been in the game so long before the drop serve was approved and they are used to it, or do they not like the drop serve? Okay, so
Can I answer that from a pro standpoint?
yep, go.
We're not allowed to drop serve.
Okay, so recently the PPA banned the drop serve. Now, I don't know what I feel about that. I think it's good because of the just to keep everything uniform. But just really quick, the drop versus the volley serve. Just really quick, everyone. The benefit of the volley serve is that you can contact the ball higher.
Yep.
That's pretty much it. I would say everyone on the pro tour could probably hit just almost as good enough drop serve, but that's why the pros do it, because they're forced to. But also mechanically and things like that, it's more natural for them.
It is.
So
We prefer it.
But again, when I'm teaching beginners and intermediates and stuff, and when we're working on technique, I think hitting a drop serve, utilizing that's very important.
Very, very useful for sure.
All right, here we go. Going to the next question.
Next question.
Let's see. If you're enjoying this, or if you have any other questions for our next Q&A, why don't you drop some questions in the chat or in the
Let's do
comments.
it live
here.
next time. Ooh.
Yeah.
That'd be so much fun.
All right. So here we go. All right. This question is maybe for higher level players. Question about stacking while receiving the serve and the hand signals that are used. I understand where the players need to be when receiving the serve based on odd and even scores. You already did a great video on that, but I'm interested to learn more about additional strategies other than, say, just forehand down the middle or male and left, female and right, etc. I noticed some pros will alternate which side that they play on throughout the game and give hand signals to each other. That surprised me when watching the match with Ben Newell, opting to sometimes play left side when he's left-handed, and his partner playing the right when they beat the Johns brothers at Newport Beach recently. With the game evolving with more and more firefights and speed-ups from yellow and sometimes red zones, what are some of the tells to look for? I find it very difficult to anticipate speed-ups, especially those coming to my chest or dominant shoulder. Okay, so those were just two questions.
Oh, yeah.
Like morph to each other. Let me answer the first one.
I'll answer the speed up ones. You want to
Okay.
answer the first one?
Yeah.
Go for it.
So hand signals, switching, and you would agree, Caden, lefty and righty matchups, they'll typically
Stack, yes.
Typically stack. If you, just quick answer, if you see something else that is working better, do that. Stick with that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Generally, at higher levels, you want to keep your forehands in the middle, but it's going to be interesting. I do see a benefit of the forehands on the outside.
It's true.
We could go into that, but let's just hop in. So that's my just quick answer. So just do what works and see at higher levels, dink patterns is really important.
Yep.
To figure out what dink patterns are working. Maybe you switch it up and things like that. So
for sure,
see what works. Stick with that. Caden, why don't you answer the ones about what are the tells to look for to anticipate speed ups?
Yeah. So when you guys are playing pickleball, you guys have to expect speed up. So what that means is if you're getting caught off guard by speed ups, one, it could be your paddle positioning, but I guarantee you it's probably your mindset. So when you are playing and you are getting burnt by speed ups, tell yourself that every single ball is going to be a speed up until it isn't. So what I'm trying to tell you is expect fast, react slow. Expect fast, you are expecting pace, you are expecting speed up, and when it doesn't come, then you can react to the slow ball. But if you are getting caught off guard by a speed up, that probably means you're expecting a slow ball and then reacting to a fast ball, which is what you don't want to do.
Okay, so, and really quick, I'm going to add to that.
Mm-hmm.
He or she is specifically asking how to anticipate speed ups, especially those coming to chest or dominant shoulder. So number one, what are some tells? Number one, stepping back.
Sure.
Number one is when you see your opponent step back with their dominant foot or non-dominant foot, if it's a backhand speed up, that's the first thing. And when they're letting the ball bounce and it rise. Number two is when their paddle head drops below the ball. You can see that paddle come back with a little bit of backswing, or when you can see their paddle drop below their knees, that's a opportunity. Yeah, those are the main ones. And then again, it is difficult to anticipate where it's coming. And players always ask me this, and how do you read it before? The truth is, everybody, that you're not at higher levels, you're not reading it until the last second.
You're not anticipating it whatsoever. You just are sitting ready.
So you can, to a certain point, anticipate, but you're maybe anticipating patterns like where they went last time and things like that. But we have to just work on our reaction time and our ready position.
Yep.
Maybe, and you know what, we're gonna do this in another video. Maybe we do it soon.
Would be
how to anticipate that, and also how to deal with shoulder attacks and things like that. Maybe a little slide action. Maybe sitting on your forehand a little bit. But
there's a lot of options in terms of being ready for a speed up. But honestly, the best thing you guys could do is make sure you guys have a good ready position. and just keep in mind that everything should come fast until it doesn't.
Yeah.
Everything is going to come fast. And when it doesn't, hey, no big deal.
It's like expecting the worst.
Yeah, right.
Now, we don't really, I don't know if that's the best thing to do in life, but like, expect the worst, expect the fastball, speed up, and be ready for the best, the easy dead dink that you're going to attack. You know what I mean?
That's right.
All right. Last question here, Caden.
All right.
I've been playing about 4 months and have learned so much from your YouTube videos.
Oh, cool.
Thank you. I have a question about when to advance to the non-volley zone when your partner is serving. Someone told me to hang back and only advance when they advance. Would love your perspective. This is one of the
most common things I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, this is one of Mythbuster here.
Yeah.
Or Mythbuster here. We got so if your partner's serving and that's return is coming back.
I think I've actually answered this question.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this, but return's coming back to your partner. The question is, should I wait or should I directly only go up when they go up?
How about this? Should I stay or should I go? You know that song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Justin Bieber. Okay, so should you basically come up when they come up? Now, yeah, the short answer is no.
Yeah.
But, as you're learning and as you're starting the game, it makes sense to kind of use that as a guide. But at higher levels, and this is just me, just as an efficient answer, everyone, it's going to be based on the quality of the shot.
Yep.
You're definitely going to have to make a read on their shot, depending if they're driving, depending if they're dropping, depending if the ball's high, attackable, yellow zone, or if it's low in the red zone.
Whether they're consistent with their shots or not consistent with their shots.
Yeah, so
there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, so our perspective definitely would be, or my perspective would definitely be, as you get better, as you learn how to anticipate and move, as you learn how to read trajectory more and more, you make your decision based on your thought process on that ball. I don't this is what I like to say. So like selfishly, this is one of the good selfish things that you can do for yourself. Don't come in based on your partner. You need to come in on what your abilities are and what you can handle. So some players are probably better off staying back if their transition game or their reset game is not that great yet. Some players, and you'll see, this is why you'll see high level players lead in a little bit, but before their partner, the majority of the times, because their resets and their transition game is very good, so that they can afford to be in that transition on a higher ball still, because they can reset. Thoughts, Kaden?
Perfectly said. We've actually done breakdowns about, partners moving up maybe a little early, but like Jordan said, it's about what you're capable of. If you know you're capable of playing in the transition and maybe bailing yourself out of, maybe some of your partner's bad drops, then say, hey, okay, go for it. Why not? And honestly, even if you're not, wouldn't hurt to do it and see how it goes. Try it out. Work on it. But it's hard. It's hard. And that's, God, like I said, that's just one of the most common things that like people get wrong.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
If someone, honestly, if you guys want my opinion, if someone tells you you're doing something wrong or that you can't do something, I guarantee you they're probably not sure. Like they probably don't know what they're talking about. So all I'm saying is know yourself, know what you're doing, know what you're trying to accomplish. Whether you're working on something or you're trying to fix something, focus more on that than on winning or on what other people say you should do, because you can get so much better by focusing on the little things than just focusing on winning and losing.
I like it, man. I like it. that wraps up the Q&A session. We would like to do this again, maybe do it live next time. Thank you for all your questions. I hope that that helped all of you. It was clear. And yeah, any final thoughts, Caden? We're again, end of season 1 for the pod.
Yeah.
We're hopping into a summer Briones Pickleball podcast, kind of season 2.
Yeah, you guys won't see much of me this summer, but you will see a little bit of me.
Well,
so,
in a month or so.
Yeah, you'll see a little bit of me, but
Yeah.
but yeah, honestly, I just want to say thank you, Jordan, for making this opportunity possible.
Yeah, man.
Thank you guys for being so supportive and so nice, and obviously I've gotten to meet a lot of great people because of this podcast, and
Awesome.
people are so nice and willing to introduce themselves to me. So thank you guys, and
Caden will be back. He'll be joining. I'm going to be in Colorado again for 8 weeks, running intensives there, family vacation, doing all the things there. Caden will be joining for a week, and we'll hop on a pod. We'll do one there, and catch up on some videos, things like that. But yeah, man.
no, yeah. On that note, I mean, shoot. We'll see you guys for season 2.
See you soon. If you have any other questions, reach out to us.
Yeah.
Always.
Caden Niemoff PB, Instagram or Facebook. Just Caden Niemoff.
There you go. Thanks so much. We'll see you guys in the next episode.